Hi there, my name is James Levesque, and this is entry 293, Learning to Trust Yourself Again, of the Life After Losses video blog. Now, this is a place where I share my thoughts as a double widower and what I feel it means to live with loss. Now, one of the things that surprised me about losing my husband wasn't exactly how much I missed him. It was how I suddenly questioned myself. And decisions that had once felt ordinary suddenly felt a lot heavier. And not because the decisions had changed, but because I was no longer making them with someone who'd always been part of that conversation. In this week's reflection, I'm exploring something I hadn't really put into words before. The difference between confidence and what I now think of as shared confidence, and how, one decision at a time, we learn to trust ourselves again. So stick around, and I'd love to hear about a moment when you realized that you were stronger than you thought. So have you ever stood in the middle of a store, staring at two nearly identical products and just couldn't decide? It sounds almost ridiculous saying it out loud. It's just a purchase. It shouldn't matter that much. But after a significant loss, I've learned that decisions often become about a lot more than the decision itself. You know, one of the things that surprised me after Bob died was how much I started questioning myself. Not just the big decisions, though those were hard enough, but small ones too. Like, should I move? Should I take this job? Should I go on this trip? Should I replace the car? Even the everyday choices started feeling heavier than they used to. It took me a while to understand why. For years, I hadn't been making those decisions entirely on my own. That's just what happens in a healthy relationship. You talk things through. You bounce ideas off of each other. One person notices something the other misses. Sometimes you already know the answer, but hearing someone else say, "I think you're right," is what actually gives you the confidence to move forward. Now, I wasn't just grieving the loss of my husband, I was grieving the loss of my sounding board. I remember a woman named Sally from one of my grief support groups. She was telling the group about buying her very first new car after her husband Ed had died. She said the hardest part wasn't choosing the car at all. It was realizing she had no one sitting beside her asking the questions they would have asked together. No one to say, "What do you think about this one?" No one there to reassure her she was making a good decision. To someone who hasn't lived through that kind of loss, it might sound like a small thing. To those of us who have, it's anything but. Because the car was never really the point. The point was realizing that life now required a completely different kind of trust, one she hadn't needed before. And for a long time, I thought what I'd lost was confidence itself. Looking back, I don't think that's quite right. What I lost was shared confidence. There's a real difference between the two. The good news is that self-trust can be rebuilt, not all at once, not through positive thinking or by pretending you're not afraid. It comes back one decision at a time. Choosing the restaurant, booking the trip, trying the class, saying yes to an opportunity that scares you a little. Each one becomes a small piece of evidence that reminds you, I can actually do this. I also had to stop demanding certainty from myself. For a long time, I wanted to know I was making the right decision before I made it. The problem is that certainty is almost never available to anyone. Most of us are simply making the best decision we can with the information we have on that particular day. That's all any of us has ever done. Having a partner didn't make the future any more certain. It simply meant we carried the uncertainty together. I've made decisions that worked out beautifully. I've made decisions I'd probably make differently now, looking back. Both, however, taught me something. Neither one defined me, and over time, those experiences built something I didn't realize I was rebuilding. Trust. Not trust that every decision would turn out perfect. Trust that whatever happened next, I'd figure it out. Because that's exactly what I'd already been doing the whole time without fully noticing. Even now, there are moments when I catch myself wondering what Bob would have thought about something I'm doing. I don't think those moments ever fully disappear, and I'm not sure I'd want them to. But something else has shifted. I no longer need the answer in order to move forward. I can appreciate the memories, consider what he might have said, and then trust myself to make the decision that actually belongs to the life I'm living now. And I think that's one of the little victories people don't talk about enough after a loss. There comes a day when you realize you're not waiting for someone else to tell you you'll be okay. You already know. Not because life became predictable and not because you stopped making mistakes, but because you've lived through enough uncertainty already to know that you'll find your way again. So now it's your turn. This week, I would like for you to think about a decision you've been putting off. Is it really a decision yourself that you're unsure about, or are you questioning whether you can trust yourself with whatever comes after it? What's one small choice you could make this week that reminds you how much you've already learned? Because self-trust was never about choosing perfectly. It's remembering that you've already survived, adapted, and grown through more than you once thought possible. And that's pretty good evidence that you can trust yourself with whatever comes next. Thanks for watching.